What is up, everybody? My name is Nick, and I'm back here again with Paul, back for the
Hey,
Bromocast. Are you ready, Paul? Are we back in it?
I am ready. I'm inside. I'm wet.
He's always wet. Not he's not wet his skin, but his dick. Anyways.
Not my skin. Never mind. Oh, never mind.
Anyways, welcome back to Bromocast number 4. This Bromocast is sponsored to you by Pepsi Cinnamon. It's not, but it's the best. It's actually called Pepsi Fire. Go fuck yourself if you don't like it. We're back in it. So, how have you been, Paul?
I have been doing grand. How have you been?
I've been okay, I suppose.
Why are you only okay, man? What's going on?
I'm here with you. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I brought down your Friday afternoon.
It's Friday?
Yeah.
Damn, okay. Anyways,
TGIF.
yeah, shit. Okay. So, anyways. What an intro. Jesus Christ.
We're doing dandy.
We're doing fine and dandy. So, you said that you actually have a follow-up with that car, huh?
Yeah,
With the
I
crash.
have. So I will follow up for if you listen to the last podcast where I got into that minor accident. So I have follow up to that. So pretty much ever since then, the lady. So like I was saying last time, I was never actually talking to the lady who owned the car. I was talking to the daughter of the lady that owns the car. And she was calling me, giving me updates about how things are going. And it turns out I had to pay like $700 to get this car fixed, which in the grand scheme of things, I guess isn't that bad. But it's still a lot of money. And I didn't like that. So she is like, hey, give me about $700 and we'll be good. And I'm like, all right, sounds good. So she actually gave me her address, and I drove to where she lived to give her a check in person. And so I came to her house, I gave her the check, and she's like, thank you. And then she's like, I didn't mean to make you feel guilty, by the way, by talking about all that dementia stuff with my mom.
Bullshit.
No, that's okay. And then she proceeded to make me feel more guilty. She's like, yeah, ever since the car accident, it's been all she's talking about. And I'm like,
Oh my god.
you know, like Alzheimer's and dementia, there's like that one thing you fixate on. That car accident was like the one thing she was fixating on. Ever since, yeah. So she kept saying she wanted to go to the garage to look at the car, and that she wanted to call me, and that, yeah, she was just kind of asking about where the car is, how is the car doing. And so basically, I just ruined this lady's life. And
That's
she
what you
made me
get.
feel horrible about it.
Yeah, why would you do that to her? See, now, you gave her flashbacks without... Well, not flashbacks. You gave her something to focus on. Like, old people always do that shit. Like, when I worked at McDonald's, there was this old dude who would come in. And he was a really nice old guy, and he had no problems, and he would always get the same thing. Well, one day, we fucked it up because we're McDonald's, and that's how we do. And pretty much, ever since then, he would always come in and make a joke about that same thing. Don't fuck it up! I was like, old man, I will beat your ass if you ever bring this up to me again. I hated it.
That McDonald's customer service.
Yeah, I know, and it's shitty. Like that lady that you said with the car. She's probably gonna talk about that until she dies. I know it's terrible. This is the morbid podcast.
Probably. I ruined the last 4 days with that. I mean, if it wasn't that car accident, it'd probably be something else, but it still sucks to know that I'm the thing.
If it wasn't that car accident, it'd probably be the death of her.
Oh my God.
I don't know. Speaking of McDonald's, I remember something. There was this old man who used to come in, and you know how old people suck, kind of? Unless they're your old people, they suck.
Yeah, I own a couple of them. I keep them chained in my basement.
Exactly. You never know when you're going to need an old person. So there's this dude who would come in and he'd pay with like the big coins, like $50 or like Sacagaweas, anything like that, Susan B. Anthony's. But he used to have the $50, which are really large. And he would buy a senior coffee. And it pissed me off because he came in like I was like in the wild, wild west. And he'd be like, senior coffee, black. And then he'd throw the coin at the table and it'd go like, bing. And I would like, stop throwing your coins at me. I'm going to kill you in your sleep. Like, it used to genuinely.
That's what the Wild West is like to you?
Yeah, well, you always see that. They're like, let me get 2 shots, and then they throw a coin at the table, and then the bartender brings the shots without checking the money. Or, like, they'll just drop a bag of gold. Isn't that a thing that happens?
Well, yeah, in the Wild West, they just drop gold for drinks all the time.
I'm pretty sure.
It's like, oh, you want a drink? We just drop this 15-pound bag of gold on the counter and get 2 shots.
Well, it's always like a little... maybe that's Game of Thrones. Like the little satchel of gold. I'm mixing up my time periods here, but I'm pretty sure.
You're mixing up the Midwest with a fictional Midwest.
I didn't say the Midwest. I said the Wild West. The Wild West. Like Will Smith.
West.
Like Wild
As
Wild
opposed
West.
to the tame Wild West.
Which is us, the Midwest. Even though we're not that tame. I think we're leading in murder rate this year. Because that's how we do. Oh my god. So I don't know, besides that, anything else interesting happened to you this week? Any shitty stuff?
Well, actually, I have a story from a while ago.
Okay.
And you spoke about murder rates in the Midwest.
Oh yeah, of course that sparked a story.
Did I ever tell you about the time I was stuck downtown in the city of Chicago and I learned the metro trains don't run past midnight?
I think you texted me that day, actually. But I don't know if we ever talked about it.
So
you were like, I'm stuck. And then you had like, yeah, go ahead.
I went to school at DePaul. And I was hanging out with some friends in the Lincoln Park campus, which is like the north side of the city, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And I live in the south suburbs, so there's some distance between us. You see, usually what I do to get to school is I take the metro train north, and then I hop on the loop to go even more north. And then, of course, I take the opposite back. I take the loop south, and then the metro south again. Well, I looked at my phone as I was on the loop to check when the next metro train was coming, and it was like fucking like 5:30 a.m. or something like that.
Which is pretty much
like,
you missed the last train of the night then.
Yeah, because it was like I looked at my phone at 11:54, and the last train left at 11:52.
Yeah. So you just missed that bad boy.
I just missed that train. And I'm like, well, shit. Am I going to have to sleep in the city until like 5 a.m.? Just like find somewhere to hide or something? I don't know. I know
somewhere to hide.
Like, nothing's open in the loop at midnight. Like, my school was closed.
Yeah.
There were
really open in the metro either, or in the Union Station.
Yeah,
anyway.
I went to the train station and it was gated shut.
Yeah.
And like there was no McDonald's that were open. My school wasn't open. Like I couldn't find like a Starbucks or anything that might be open. Nothing was open. So
there had to have been a White Castle somewhere.
I've never seen a White Castle in the city.
Now that you mention it, I don't think I have either, but continue with your story.
So I'm like, okay, I need to find another way home because I'm not just going to sit in the city until 5 a.m. Because first of all, I didn't feel like doing that. And second of all, I didn't want to get like stabbed.
Mm-hmm.
Because like, yeah, I feel like the only place I can find shelter, because I think it might have been raining a little bit too. I don't remember. Or it was just after raining, so I couldn't just like sit on the ground outside and wait. Because the ground was like damp. I was like, I'm trying to find another way home. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to take the CTA, you know, the red line south to the Dan Ryan.
Mistake.
That's as far south as it goes, and that's nowhere near my house. But I know it's closer than where I was. So I was like, I want to do that. And
I want to interrupt you quickly. Because I already know that's a bad idea. Like, that is not a nice area.
Exactly. Yeah, so anyone that doesn't live in Illinois or near the Chicagoland area, the south side of Chicago is not the best place to be, especially at night. And the Dan Ryan it's among the worst.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So I took the train down there. And I'm like, okay, I'm here. Now what do I do? And all the buses that went by my house, they were done for the night.
Okay.
So I'm like, all right, I have to find the next bus that takes me like the closest. Because again, I'm like, all right, I'll get closer and then figure it out from there again. And the closest they'll take me is this place called Harvey. And according to the FBI, Harvey is the most likely place in the state of Illinois where you'll be hit by a violent crime.
It's accurate. That is an accurate statement.
Oh, if you're curious, Chicago Heights is the most likely place for you to be hit by arson. That's how is it?
Arson? Like
a victim of arson.
Like to be put on fire?
Yeah. Like
that happened in Ford Heights, which touches Chicago Heights.
Yeah. But anyways, so I was waiting for the bus to take me to Harvey. And we were waiting there, and this random guy walked up to me like, "You need a taxi, kid?" I'm like, no, because he just walked up to me. He wasn't like in a taxi or anything. He just walked up like, "You looking for a cab, kid?" I'm like, no, I'm good. And he's like, "You sure?" I'm like, "I'm fine." And I started waiting somewhere else. And it was really awkward, and people were looking at me. And eventually the bus came. I scurried onto that bus, and it was about, well, I already taken about like an hour of trains and before I'd taken an interspersed, because I hop on a few trains to get to this point, and in between that I had already walked, I walked the city of Chicago unsure what to do for another hour. So at this point it was like 2 hours since that 11:54 I was mentioning earlier. So it was about 2 a.m. at this point. And they dropped me. Finally, I got off the bus at Harvey, at what they call the Harvey the Harvey Transportation Center, they call it, because that's where the CTA buses and the Metro train meet up. So my plan was I was going to follow. Although I couldn't ride the Metro, I could follow the Metro tracks back to the train station where I parked my car and then drive home from there, if I couldn't get a ride.
That sounds dangerous as hell. It's in Harvey.
Well, I didn't want to call my mom to pick me up because I knew she had to wake up really early in the morning. So if she can't pick me up, she'd get literally no sleep. So I'm like, all right, I'm just going to find my own way home. So I got off the bus at Harvey, and next to the Harvey Transportation Center, there's a plaza, right? I got off the bus. The plaza was on fire. The entire plaza was burning down before me. And I'm like, I feel like this is an omen. Like, there are firefighters there and everything.
Like, if you know Harvey at all, that's one of those things where if you're from Harvey, you're walking down the block, you turn the corner, you see it's on fire, and you're just like, yeah, I expected that.
So I walked around it. I had to walk through a lot of smoke, and I was just walking along the railroad track, and a lot of it went through residential area. There was a little bit of commercial area there, but most of it was residential area. So I was just this lone chump. It was probably a 2-hour walk to get to my the station where I parked my car. So I walked around the train track, and since it just rained, like a lot of it was like mushy and dirty too. And fortunately, since it was so late at night, and it was mostly residential areas with low people, I didn't come across too many other people, because, yeah, who walks around the train tracks at fucking 3 a.m.? True. But I did find, I had run around into a few people though, but most of them were nice. They're just like, "Hey, how's it going?" I'm like, "Yeah, I mean, what are you doing out here at 3 a.m.?" And it was just weird stuff.
Oh, I'm sure there's got to be a lot of weird people out there.
Yeah, if you find someone out at 3 a.m., chances are they're not normal. But I was out there. I'm not normal, though, so that just confirms it.
Yeah, exactly.
And by the time I finally got back to my car, it was like 5 a.m., and I'm like, you know, if I just waited for the train, because the Match Connector train was at like 5 a.m. So I'm like, I probably only saved myself an hour, because the train would have taken me an hour to get home. but it probably would have been a hell of a lot safer.
Mhm.
And I remember I drove home. I walked into the house, and my dad gets up early in the morning to go to work. So I got walked in while he was up, and so he heard me open the door and just like check to see who came in to make sure it wasn't like a robber or something. And he just saw it was me, and I was like, "Yeah, I just came home." Then he just grunted and hopped in the shower, and yeah, the whole time I was walking along the train track,
Yeah.
um, I had this stupid. I found at some point on the journey, I don't remember when. You know those like squishy balls,
Squishy balls. Like, wait,
like
what
the
kind of?
kind of like almost like there's some kind of gel and they have some liquid in it. You squeeze them and they like bulge out.
I think I know it. Oh yeah, it's like goo.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah,
I
I
had
know
one of
that.
those, and I was playing with one of those the whole time to pass the time.
Of course you were.
So if someone were to approach me, I would look like the most least threatening person in the world because I was this white guy with long hair, uh, and a little fucking squish ball going like, like, and I'm like, my arms have like no muscle, so I look like I'm made of jello. So if someone approached me, they totally would have thought I can probably kill and take this guy's wallet, or phone, or anything. Just rip his butt right off.
Jesus Christ. You could have died so easily. It's not even
There are
funny.
so many points I could have died.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? I guess you're lucky you didn't. And
It was an
about that.
experience. I
Oh,
figured out how long
yeah.
it'd take me to get home from the middle of Chicago.
You
Well,
should have definitely just stayed for the for the train. That's okay. You didn't die, and that's all that matters, I suppose. That's all that matters. I don't know. I feel like there's been a lot of times where we've done stupid stuff, like walking around at night, especially in the south suburbs. Where
Yeah,
we probably shouldn't have been walking around at night.
probably not.
I think a lot of it might have been my fault. I'm not too sure, so don't quote me on that. But I feel
It was
like
usually an idea, but I usually wanted to go.
yeah, it's like, hey, let's go walk through the woods at night.
I hate walking through the woods at night. That was all you.
Yeah, that was me, and I loved doing that, and I still love doing that. It's I don't know, it's scary, it's fun, it's ooh, something about it is nice. I don't know. I think deep down inside, I've always wanted to get murdered. Just like a part of me, just
I
feels
just
like,
always wanted to see my intestines.
exactly. Just like, don't you ever sit there and you're like watching a scary movie or something, and then you see someone get stabbed and their guts rip out, and you're like, I wonder what that feels like.
I have a story. I think I actually do want to get murdered
Right?
because
That's
I
what
was
I'm
at
saying,
Panera
yeah.
yesterday,
Uh
and my girlfriend Mandy, she left the table to go throw some garbage away, and I stayed sitting there. And
huh.
she snuck up behind me and grabbed me by the top of my head and like shook it. It kind of went like wow or something like that.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize it was her. So in my head, I was just like, oh, someone's going to break my neck. This is the end. And I didn't do anything about it. I'm like, this is it. I'm ready to go. I literally did nothing. I didn't respond at all. I did not know it was her. And in my head, I thought I was legitimately in danger. And I reacted in no way whatsoever.
You're like, whatever.
I'm like, just take me. I'm ready to go.
Jesus Christ. You know what? Maybe we'll get murdered together. One of these. We've been through so much. That would be it'd be kind of nice.
If
I think
I'm with you, Nick.
you're exactly. Thank you. So that's good to hear, because if it wasn't with you, it wouldn't be the same.
It wouldn't be. I agree.
Exactly. Well, at least there's that. I remember one time I was walking through the woods at night. I don't remember if you were there or not, but I was with at least a couple people. And there was like just going along the path, not actually straying into the woods themselves, but a path along the middle of the woods.
Uh-huh.
And there was like this giant like electric sound. It sounded like someone threw like a bug zapper. Yeah, it was loud too. It scared the hell out of all of us. I remember we started running down the path, and at the time I was not super physically fit, and I was like, I got asthma and I got titties, and I can barely do this.
Are you saying you're more physically fit now?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say so. Are you saying I'm not, huh?
I think you were more physically fit then.
Fuck
I
you!
would say it. I would say it.
What's that so? Dude, I was
think
chubby.
you were stronger then.
No
like,
way.
Relatively speaking, you probably actually are stronger now.
Mm-hmm.
But like relatively speaking.
Uh-huh.
Never mind. I don't want to go into this.
No, I don't care. Go ahead. I don't know.
Now I'll admit that I'm a piece of shit now.
I really don't care. Go ahead. I don't get.
I used to be like the skinniest fucker alive. Your mom actually worried about me.
My mom or my mom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember one time we were playing in the either like water balloons or the sprinkler or something in your front lawn. So I was in my swimsuit, and she's like, "I see your ribs. Are you like, starving?"
Are you starving?
You can't see my ribs anymore. I have a big old belly in front of it.
Paul's got a little bit of boobs going on now.
I got boobs.
There's a little bit of boobs. I wouldn't say like a lot of bit of boobs, but I'd say at least a fair amount of boobs. The boobage is fair with this one.
That's some nice boobage.
Yeah. But I don't know. I felt like I got fitter once I moved up here to Elk Grove.
Maybe you're right.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. At this point, who cares?
You're probably right. I think your beard just makes you...
My beard makes my face rounder, for
yeah,
sure.
So that's probably it.
Yeah, without a doubt it does. I actually don't have it right now. It's shaved at the moment. I feel free. As free as the wind blows. Or something like that. I don't fucking know. I don't know. But besides that, I suppose, like... So, the thing about the south side of Chicago is it's pretty ghetto, to say the least. And we're talking about Harvey like it's like a ways away from where we grew up, but it's not that far away from where we grew up.
No.
It really it's like 2 towns away. Like it's Glenwood, Homewood, Harvey, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. It's like right there. So it was, and Glenwood was it was not as bad of a neighborhood, without a doubt, and it's still not that bad as compared to, like, Harvey and East Hazelcrest or anything like that. And I think that's kind of weird how just that little bit of mileage changes so drastically. I don't know.
No, it's, no, I forgot. Hazelcrest is between Homewood and Harvey. That's why it was such a long walk.
Oh, okay.
I had to walk through Hazelcrest and Homewood.
Okay, yeah. You know, I don't think we've ever told anyone on my channel, and I don't think I've ever talked about him on my channel, about our friend Michael.
Oh my gosh, Michael's a god.
Michael is the greatest man to walk this planet. He's weird, but he's the greatest.
I love him.
Okay, so pretty much, I'm going to try to explain Michael the best way possible. Michael's going to tell you, without a doubt, he can come over. Like, no problem, Michael can be there. And then you think Michael's on his way, and he tells you he's on his way. And then an hour goes by, and 2 hours goes by, and then he tells you, man, my mom won't let me. And it's Michael, you're 23.
No, remember when we were younger, though? And there was this one time we were playing video games at your house, and you asked Michael if he can come over, and he's like, sure. And then a little while later, he texted you, on my way. And then that was like 15 minutes later, he texted, I'm 1 street away. And then like 2 minutes later, he texted, aw, never mind.
I remember that. I don't think he gave a follow-up to that either. I don't know why.
It was like, how'd you go from 1 street away to everything's canceled?
Michael makes absolute zero sense as a person. Like, I don't understand. Like, one time he stood up, we were playing like some video game, I think it might have been Smash Bros or Sonic and Sega Racing, and he got super hyped about something, and he wanted to go for what we call a high five. But Michael jumped up and he said, hands up, and like, we didn't know what the fuck he meant by that. we just looked at him, and because his hand was up, he got depressed because no one high-fived him.
High five. Because of that, I very rarely say high five anymore. Even when people aren't Michael, I'll be like, hands up.
Hands up. Well, Michael was just disappointed because nobody high-fived him. And he was like, oh.
So it was like immediately after he said it and he saw the look we were giving him, he realized his mistake and he went, oh.
Oh, man. Michael is the epitome of a fail. Like, he's the personification of a fail. And he's a good person, and I love him to death, but he just, I don't know how he does it.
He's really nice.
Yeah, he's a good guy. I don't know how he does it. Every time I go over to his house, it's like a pain in the butt to get him outside. Like, I'll tell him, hey, Michael, I'm going to stop by, and he'll say, okay, cool. I'm like, I'll be there in 2 minutes. And then I show up to his house, and I'm like, okay, I'm here. And then it takes him like 10 to 15 minutes to get outside. Every time.
He's gotten a little better, but yeah.
Yeah, and then I'll knock on the door, and he'll come up, and he'll open the door in, like, pajamas and, like, a wife beater. And I'm like, you're not even dressed. He'll be like, I'm almost ready. I'm like, what are you doing in there? You look like you're eating soup. like, I don't understand how he does that.
Did I tell you about the time where Michael and I got swindled?
You guys got swindled?
Almost, at least, yeah.
How'd that happen?
I feel like I didn't get swindled too bad, but, so, like, we went to a movie theater, right?
Uh-huh.
And there was this table set up in the lobby with these two people running it.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, do you want to donate, $5 to this charity? If you do, you get, this snack voucher for the movie theater, a White Sox t-shirt, because Southside of Chicago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And a few weeks of the Chicago Sun-Times newspaper subscription.
Oh, okay. That's not too bad.
And I'm like, for $5, that's a fucking steal. So I'm like, I pulled out my wallet. I'm like, here's some cash. And they're like, oh, we want you to use your debit card. And I'm like, I don't want to just give random people my credit card. So I'm like, I have $5 right here. I'd rather give that to you. And he's like, yeah, but if you give me cash, it goes up to $20 a donation.
Mm.
And since I'm really awkward, I gave him $20. Because I was like in this awkward situation. I didn't feel like I could just back out. So I'm like, all right, I'll give you $20. And I still feel like I got a pretty good deal out of it. Because it was like a $10 food voucher and a White Sox t-shirt. And t-shirts are usually about like, especially sports t-shirts, they can be well over $10. So I still actually feel like I got my money's worth out of it. The subscription to the Chicago Sun-Times, I think I got like one newspaper and never got one again. But they were like really weird about this. They're like, Michael, unlike me, Michael didn't have more than $5 cash on him, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when he said, Michael didn't even have a credit card at that time, I don't think. So he was just like, no, I just have $5 cash. I can't give you 20. So one of the guys like pulled Michael aside and was like whispering to him, and I could tell he was trying to keep him away from me.
Because you're the smart one.
I don't know. I paid $20. I'm probably just as stupid as he is. And they pulled Michael aside and were like, "Hey, listen, we're gonna call your home, and when you do, you need to give us your mom's credit card number, and we can get the rest of the money from you. We'll give you like half the stuff if you give us your mom's credit card number. We can give you the rest, and everything will be good." And I'm like, and they're just like talking to Michael, and then at some point I remember at one point I walked up to pull him away, and the other guy that was left with me kept trying to draw my attention back. So finally I just ignored him and just pulled Michael aside and we're going, "Oh, we're gonna miss our movie. Sorry guys, bye."
Yeah, they were trying to just steal your money. Like, without a doubt.
I mean, I got my $20, but like I said, I got a $10. Like, I don't know. It just, the whole thing seems weird.
That is weird. It doesn't make it, like, I don't even understand it, really.
I literally understand nothing.
You're like Jon Snow.
I knew nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. Well, it's like, when you like take a girl to like the mall, and then they're like always all those people that are like, hey, let us, like the people who run the booths in the middle of the mall, they always want to give you something, or like do straighten a girl's hair or something like that. And it's always like, no, stop it, but they won't take no for an answer. And it's like, I don't care. I hate that. It's like the people like that, like it's okay to try to be like, hey, would you like to donate? But then they come up and they like will not leave you alone, and they will not take no for an answer. And it's crazy.
I had a kind of funny thing happen like that today, actually.
Mm-hmm.
We went to see that King Arthur, Legend of the Sword, or whatever it was called movie. The one with Charles Hunnam, that sexy motherfucker.
That sexy motherfucker.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Do you know what movie I'm talking about?
No.
Do you know who Charles Hunnam is?
Absolutely not.
Did you watch Sons of Anarchy at all?
Nope.
Well, there's the lead of the movie was this very sexy guy named Charles Hunnam. It made my girlfriend were like, all right, we got to see this man in action.
Yeah.
That's literally the only reason we saw the movie. So we went to see the movie because he was in it. It was okay movie. I had no idea what was going on. I'm probably stupid though. And afterwards, we left, and this lady was interviewing people who saw the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then she walked up to the two of us, and she said, so who decided to see the movie? Like, I think she was asking, like, of the two of us, who said, let's go to this movie? And then I just said the sexiness of the actor. And it completely threw her back. And she's like, no, which one of you two decided to see the movie? I'm like, the sexiness of the actor. I made no decision. I was controlled.
You're like, it wasn't my fault.
My girlfriend just left because she was too embarrassed. So I just started doing this interview alone, and it was...
I wish I was there with you. That would have been so funny.
And she kept trying to get like me to answer that question, but I kept saying, there was no choice. We didn't make a decision. He decided it for us.
He decided for you because of how damn sexy he was.
So she finally just stopped that question.
I would have wrote it down. I'd be like, okay, thank you, sir. I will let my people know this. Is that one of those things where they'll give you like $100 to watch trailers?
Oh, no. There is no benefit to doing this, as far as I can tell.
At the movie theater by me, there's people there they ask you questions and then they sign you up for something, and it's like, on Wednesday, do you have 2 hours to watch trailers? You get $100, and they literally do give you $100, and you get to watch new trailers. All you have to do is answer questions on how you like the trailers.
I'd do that.
Right? It's like, absolutely.
Oh, speaking of getting paid for nothing, I thought of the greatest stupid invention.
What's that?
A sleep transferring device. Like, imagine this. You have this magical machine that can transfer sleep from one person to another, right?
Sounds good. Sounds nice.
So you can take sleep from one person who oversleeps and give it to someone who doesn't want to sleep so they have more time in their day. So they don't need to sleep, and they can do more productive things in their day if they wish to.
Oh, okay. But then they would feel more rested, I'm guessing.
Yeah, so they wouldn't feel tired because they're taking the sleep from someone else.
Oh, okay. That actually sounds very nice. Here's a good question. Which person would you be in that instance? Would you be the one who wants to lay in bed?
It's great for everyone because if you're like a businessman or a politician or someone who just needs more time in the day, you can sleep less, and you just got to pay someone to sleep for you. And then you literally get a job sleeping to give people who don't want to sleep.
But that is like a cycle of money.
Exactly.
Because it's like they make more money than us anyways because they're politicians. But they're willing to give that money out there to get your sleep. And we don't want to do nothing, so we sleep and get money.
You can literally be employed as a sleeping person. You just sleep. That's your job. You have to sleep twice as much as you normally would since you're losing that sleep since it's getting transferred.
Uh-huh.
But you can just, like, sleep, like, 6 or 8 hours a day.
Okay, but how would something like that work? Like, theoretically speaking, like, because getting sleep it's, like, the way we think about it as a race is almost like a battery charging on a phone. Like, it's like, whoop, I'm in green now, but that's obviously not how it works. It's like your muscles relaxing, you know? But, like...
So you still got to get your normal amount of sleep. Like, if you only sleep 6 to 8 hours a day and you transfer all that sleep over, you'll still be tired as fuck, and you'll still need to sleep on your own. So
it's like getting an adrenaline shot, though, but natural. I suppose.
Yeah,
like
your body just recharges, your mind can focus again.
Okay, that would be nice. So when you go home at night, you still got to get your sleep. Or if you don't, you could face serious damage.
Well, no, like, if you're the person giving up the sleep, you still have to get your normal sleep.
Yeah.
But if you're just receiving the sleep, theoretically, you'd never have to sleep again.
Oh, okay.
And this fantastical device that has not yet been invented and is completely unrealistic in any way.
Yeah, because obviously something like that wouldn't be able to happen. Unless...
But think of all the jobs it can create. Because you know there's going to be a lot of people who just... Because, like, that's the whole point of fucking Red Bull and shit like that.
Yeah.
And this is, like, infinitely better than that.
But that would screw over... But how many jobs would be lost then?
Oh, fuck, you're right. The balance. The
balance of sleep and death. Oh my god, because then it's like, well, now people are getting jobs for sleeping, but at the same time, Red Bull employees are dead.
Well, you gotta figure, sleep is gonna be more expensive than Red Bull, so Red Bull will probably still be around.
True. Well, how much would you charge for,
I don't know,
let's say 8-hour rest?
Demand. It depends on how much would I personally pay?
Yeah. Maximum amount you would pay for sleep. I would say it would have to be less than I'm making for staying up.
Yeah. So, like, if you're getting paid minimum wage, you're probably not going to get your money's worth of sleep. So
if you're making $60 in 8 hours, you'd probably only spend, like, 30, maybe.
Yeah, if it's like... Yeah, it really depends.
Yeah. So it depends on the person, then. Well, that'd be great for homeless people. Like, think about it.
What do you mean?
Because if you're homeless, I mean, what do you do?
Oh, you mean they can just sleep?
They could just sleep. Like, but then it would turn into like a Wall-E situation where you just got people in like a giant room all sleeping on cots, giving up their sleep. Well, and then, Paul, if we invent a machine like that, that's going to be used for evil more than good. Kids are going to be bred into this world just to be sleep slaves. It's like, they're going to be like sitting there like, give us your sleep, and they're going to suck the sleep out of you.
How do you breed a sleep slave?
You just fuck.
I know how childbirth works, but I mean, like, it's such a... What's the difference between a sleep slave and a regular person?
One's a slave. What do you mean? It's like the difference between, like, what's the difference? So one of them, I'm not saying it's legal, but like, so let's say a man and a woman love each other very much. So he puts his diddly doop dop in her hoo-ha, and then all of a sudden you have a baby. 9 months later. You take that baby, because some babies, if they're not colicky, they sleep a long time, and from the young age of infancy, you suck the sleep out of them.
Oh, I see what you mean. It's a way for parents to get labor out of their kids.
Well, not only that, but then you could kidnap kids, and then you can put them in a kidnappery, you know, and then you strap them all down.
I'm the biggest sleep thief west of the Mississippi.
Exactly. And then you strap them all down to cots, and you feed them mashed potatoes, and you suck the sleep out of them. And that starts
the baby trade.
Exactly. So instead of like puppy mills, you have baby mills. Yes. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the future.
Yeah.
Well, probably. Well, I mean, it could be.
It's the future. This device is getting invented.
Yeah, I mean, this is happening. This is the future, ladies and gentlemen.
Mans.
I don't know. I feel like that'd be really good. Well, not the slave part.
What the fuck's your problem?
I don't condone slaves. That's not what I'm saying here.
Just baby slaves.
Just baby slaves. I mean, shit, I'll be a slave. If you say I get to sleep and eat mashed potatoes, sure. But then again, I mean, I feel like it's not really being a slave if you volunteer, right?
Sure.
Okay.
They're a baby. They can't volunteer.
Says who? I've seen babies do some stupid stuff voluntarily. What about the one who got Harambe killed?
Oh my goodness.
Uh-huh. I went there. Rest in peace, baby boy. I don't know. It's just been a hard time without Harambe.
I know. You gotta pour a smile from every day.
I know. Dicks out for Harambe. Sad. But that's a great idea for an invention.
So when they say dicks out for Harambe, what do they mean? Are you just like supposed to like wave it around, or are you supposed to like masturbate for them?
You're not supposed to masturbate. You're supposed to zip your pants down and just let it hang out of the hole.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Do you like
you
helicopter
could
it?
dance. Huh?
Do you like helicopter it?
You could helicopter dick it if you'd like to. That's called moral support for Harambe. Like peer-to-peer moral support for Harambe. Because Harambe always had his dick out. He didn't have pants. So we ourselves have to show like a camaraderie. Like, we're sorry we killed you. Our dicks are out too, you know?
So we should just start grabbing babies and throwing our dicks out.
I mean, it depends on the person.
What kind of person should do that, Nick?
A good one? I don't know. What kind of question is that, Paul?
So we're gonna grab babies, whip our dicks out, and then force them to sleep for us.
Slavery, yes. Dicks out for Harambe.
No, I completely understand.
It went full circle. You see, it's a real conversation starter. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know. My brain works different than other people's, I think.
Your brain doesn't work.
Hey, you right. You right. It doesn't sometimes. Like, I'll be trying to do average, like, normal day, ordinary stuff, and I can't. Like, I cannot text and speak to someone who's next to me at the same time, because I will say what I'm trying to type and type what I'm trying to say, and it'll all get jumbled up, and it's terrible. And I mean, it's not like an example of, like, I can't walk and chew gum at the same time. Like, I can do that. But just, like, other stuff like that, I can't. I don't know why.
I had a coworker get mad at me before because I was telling her this fun fact. I told her that, relatively speaking, the Earth is smoother than a cue ball.
You told me that, yeah.
And so, like, if the Earth and a cue ball were the same size, like you either shrunk down the Earth or grew up the cue ball, the Earth would be smoother than the cue ball is.
Yeah.
And this person at work, she was like, I don't believe you. And I'm like, I'm going to prove it. And I did the math to show that the highest elevation on Earth, Mount Everest, and the lowest, the Marianas Trench, like the deviations between those and sea level are still lower than the allowed deviations on a cue ball, proportionally. So I had fractions, multiplication, all kinds of stuff like that with really big and really small numbers. Mm-hmm. And then an hour later, I asked her, hey, how many hours are between 12 and 6?
And she was like, you're telling me you're able to solve the difference between the world being circular and a cube, like which one's more smooth, but you can't tell me how many hours between 12 and 6. 6, Paul!
Exactly.
6!
That's exactly what happened.
See, well, I think that's the difference. Like, it's two different types of knowledge there. One's common sense, and then one's, like, book smarts, you know?
Yeah, so I have no common sense.
Yeah. I have a lot of common sense, but I don't know. I'd say my book smarts are maybe not as good as yours, most definitely. Well, I was trying to tell someone that exact scenario that you told me about the cue ball on the Earth, but I fucked it up. I was like, you know cue balls? They were like, yeah. I was like, how about Earth? Have you heard of it? They were like, uh-huh. And I was like, the Earth is smoother. They were like, what? I was like, uh-huh. Trust me. That's all I said.
Trust me, my friend told me this.
I was like, if you look at it and you make an Earth tiny, you got a cue ball. Or something like that. And they were like, "Get out of my face! Never talk to me again." I was like, "Oh,
I remember
shit."
once at work, it was a really slow day,
Mm-hmm.
so I really just wanted to mess with my coworker next to me.
Uh-huh.
And I don't remember how this came up, but at one point she said she believed in ghosts. So
Uh-huh.
I thought, how many stupid questions about ghosts can I ask this woman before she gets so annoyed she doesn't want to talk to me anymore?
That
And
sounds like a thing I'd do, yeah.
I came up with some pretty great ones. But I asked her, like, do you think animals become ghosts when you die, when they die?
Uh-huh.
And she's like, yeah, it'd be cool if, like, my dog can be a ghost with me. And I can see my ghost again or my dog again when I die. And I'm like, but then wouldn't, like, the air just be thick with all, like, the infinite mosquitoes and ants that have died since the beginning of time? Which you think that'd be so fucking gross. You mean ants would be?
Well, there's like a lot of people believe that like so I myself believe in ghosts. You know that, right? Yeah, bitch.
I went on a ghost tour of Chicago recently.
I did that too. Yeah.
Where did you go on the tour?
I don't remember. This was a while ago.
Oh, fuck you. Why'd you bring? Fuck you.
Yeah. Well, you used to tell me that you didn't believe in ghosts. I don't know if you still do or don't. Huh?
I don't believe in ghosts.
Okay, cool. But yeah, like, well, I do. You know that. I like my grandma, all that crap. Anyways, there's like the belief that like everyone wants to believe my dog and cat have souls, but bugs don't. And I'm like, who are you to judge?
Didn't you see Bug's Life? Fuck
Yeah,
you.
who are you to judge? Flint was a good cat, but ant. He wasn't.
Exactly.
He wasn't even.
So that just
first of all-
confirms,
Yeah.
like, the air is just gonna be thick with mosquitoes.
Well, but there's like the whole dimension theory. Like, let's say, hypothetically speaking, all beliefs aside, if ghosts were real, and then it'd be like all beliefs aside, like I said, that if ghosts were real, they'd be in a different dimension. So on a plane.
All right, I wasn't thinking about dimensions when I was trying to annoy this girl.
Slob on my knob. Yeah. This podcast is sponsored by Pepsi. Come on down to the Pepsi mill and
The Pepsi mill? What the fuck do you think how they make Pepsi?
drink some Pepsi. I don't know. That's their new motto.
Pep with Pepsi.
Get pep with Pepsi. God rest your soul, Michael.
Yeah, Michael came up with that. Speaking of Michael.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, I got to tell you how Michael came up with that. I know we're changing topics from ghosts and everything. You can tell your ghost thing in a second. But that's how Michael came up with that motto. Pepsi, I swear to God, if you take this, I'm going to kill you. I was trying to keep this for myself because I've been tweeting you constantly trying to get you to let me be your spokesperson. But they won't. I have the tweets to prove it. Their DMs are open, so I just slid into them. And, but we were in... Yeah, we slid all up into Pepsi DMs.
How good of a lube do you think Pepsi is?
From personal experience, no. I don't know, probably not that good. It's probably sticky.
Sticky and fizzy.
I'd say at first it's probably good, but after like 5 seconds it's probably not.
I don't think it's ever good.
Who are you to judge?
Because what we need is more acidic, sugary, sticky, fizzy lube.
Yeah, that's true. But it'd be delicious, you know what I'm trying to say? Anyways.
Yeah, oral would be amazing.
So I was in school. I went to Homewood Flossmoor High School, and my friend Michael was there for a couple of years. And we were in English class together, freshman year. His name was Mr. Layden. And I wasn't doing good in the class, but if there's one thing that I am good at, just because of how socially awkward I am, it's doing oral presentations. But anyways, my presentation was over, the guy's presentation was over, and I was paired up with my friend Michael. God forbid. We got separated. We weren't allowed to sit next to each other anymore. But, so me and Michael went up together, and essentially what happened was, I didn't have anything planned, but Michael did. And Michael just wanted to take a sip of his Pepsi. That was his whole basis of his speech. So it was...
I'll drink Pepsi, you talk. Sounds like that kind of plan.
So I was talking and just like making up crap, and then it came to Michael, and it was his job for the motto, for the slogan. So Michael opened up his Pepsi, took a giant sip, and then went, get pep with Pepsi. And it was so funny.
Assignment?
I don't remember. It was something along the lines of like...
I'd like to hope that was completely irrelevant to what was going on.
It's like, guys, you were supposed to read the Diary of Anne Frank. What happened? I was like, this is English? I don't know. It was good times, good times. I don't even know how Michael graduated. I don't know how me or Michael graduated. Which is sad to say. If you want to tell your ghost thing, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. So, I went on a ghost tour with my girlfriend's family. Mm-hmm. And, well, okay, first, so, like, half the city of Chicago is apparently in a graveyard, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's like, fuck this, just build over this shit.
That's how we do.
So, like, would ghost tours be just out of business if cremation was the main form of body disposal?
Well, is there, like, a thing that says cremation gets rid of ghosts?
Well, there wouldn't be graveyards. You couldn't go, I built my fucking factory on the Indian burial ground if there's no fucking burial grounds.
But I don't think...
Isn't that half the ghost story start?
Maybe half, but I think the main idea of ghosts is ghosts come from tragedy. Because, like, if you don't know how you died, or, like, if, let's say, you got hit by a car, then you don't necessarily know that you died. And so some ghosts get trapped thinking that they're still living, so their souls don't travel on to the other realm. So I think, like, the part in terms of how you dispose of the body might be a little bit different. It wouldn't be as creepy, though. That's for damn sure. It'd be the same amount of ghostliness, but not as much creepiliness-lessness.
I feel like it would be damaging to the touring business, because they'd be, like, whenever there's a graveyard, you can go, ghost tour, that's part of it.
Yeah, well, yeah, like if you go to a graveyard, like, we're gonna go do ghosts here. But if you go and it's a Krispy, we're gonna go do ghosting. Yeah, but you don't want to go to a Krispy Kreme and be like, yeah, one time they burned a body here. Like, who cares? I can't see it now. Give me a donut.
You think when they do cremations, they do them at Krispy?
No, I'm just like giving an example, you know.
What the fuck? What do you think cremation is?
Well, like when they burn them,
actually like cream you up like a donut.
Yeah, I didn't realize that Krispy Kreme and cremation both had the word cream in it. That was just a coincidence. that was utter coincidence. Like, I didn't plan that symbol at all. I just meant like maybe that building used to be a cremation center emporium or whatever. And then they knocked it down and they built a Krispy Kreme there because everyone's like, whoop, whoop. It got quiet.
I love you.
I love you too. I love you too.
So we went on this tour, and I think, you know how I'm like fantastic with people, right?
Uh-huh.
I probably embarrassed myself in front of her family quite a few times.
Oh yeah, I could have told you that.
Like there is, like right off the bat, before the tour even started, we were waiting in the, what was the hotel?
Candlewood Suites.
Yes.
The main one. The
Hilton.
The main the
Tipton.
stereotypical.
I live in Chicago. You can tell. What's the hotel with all the ghosts?
Oh!
The one where Al Capone used to have his little.
Oh! I sounded like R2-D2. Chicago Ghost Hotel. Paul Stahl.
So yeah, we were at this hotel, and we were waiting, because that's where the tour started. We were there waiting.
For the ghosts.
So I was standing, we were
The
standing
Congress.
in the lobby.
The
The
Congress.
Congress, yes. We were at Congress. And I was standing in the lobby waiting for the tour to start. And like I said, Mandy's, like, pretty much her whole family, like her extended family was there.
Uh-huh.
Including, like, her grandma. And we were all waiting, and her grandma came up behind me, and I completely did not...
Sorry.
I completely didn't notice her at all.
Uh-huh.
And I was standing at the base of like an incline. Like the floor slightly dipped a little bit.
You did not grab her grandma's titties.
No.
Oh, okay, good.
I was standing at the base. Her grandma stepped on the incline, and I don't think she realized it was an incline because she stumbled, right?
Uh-huh.
So when she stumbled, she grabbed my shoulder to like support, and she had like her purse on her arm, right?
Yeah.
So she grabbed my shoulder, and her purse moved up. Like, her purse swung forward to hit my butt, right?
Uh-huh.
And since she fell, she just went, oh!
Well, you thought she was flirting
I
with
was
you.
terrified, because from my perspective, I just heard this old lady tap my butt and go, oh! So I turned around and looked at her, like, terrified.
Oh, man. That is
So
incredible.
that's how things started.
That is fucking incredible.
And then, we actually started the tour then, and there was this tour guide. Do you remember his name, Andy?
Oh, fuck, it was like Andy or something weird.
It was not Andy, but there was this tour guide. We're gonna call him Andy.
Okay.
And he was an awesome guy.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point, there was like a big step down. So he was like, offering to help people down that if they wanted like help getting down the step, because it was like almost 2 feet high, maybe even higher. And because he just had to like jump down, it was like a little ledge to get to another part of the tour. And he like jokingly offered to help me. I jumped into his arms and hugged him. And I could tell he was uncomfortable. He totally did not expect me to do it. And her family saw me, and they wouldn't stop talking about it and giving me weird looks for like half an hour on the tour.
Oh,
And then
God.
another time they were at I don't know my city at all. What was the theater?
It's like kind of like
The one where the people burned to death?
Yeah, we were at
Murder Alley or something like that.
we were in
Yeah.
which is outside the Cadillac Theater.
Wait, I want to give like a little tidbit to it. Is this the one where the reason the people died was because doors opened inwards then instead of facing
Exactly.
out? So all the people burned to death.
Oh, I have to burn it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was funny.
And like he was going on, like he would stop occasionally to us to like, you know what was responsible? The doors were painted on the walls. We're next to doors. You know what was responsible? The doors swung in. And one of the times he said, and you know whose fault it was? I shouted back at him, George Bush.
George Bush did 9/11.
And the whole tour was like silent. Her family looked at me, and my girlfriend Manny just walked away from me. She didn't want to be seen by me.
Jesus Christ, Paul. Oh my God. And that's why you're the best. I was on a ghost tour in Indiana once for John Dillinger.
Anna,
Huh?
Story.
Were you not done?
Huh?
Go ahead, finish.
No, I was joking. You can go.
Oh,
I'm done.
I was on a ghost tour in Indiana once. It was in Crown Point, Indiana, where John Dillinger was shot and killed. One of my aunts lives there, and
John Dillinger was killed.
yeah, she lives on the exact spot where he was killed. I'm like, Aunt Tony, get off the ground. No, but so it's like there's a ghost tour that goes on there, and the ghost tour guides, they're so funny because they're so serious about it. Like, no matter who you are, if you believe in ghosts or you don't, you can genuinely appreciate how passionate they are on these ghost tours because they wholeheartedly, that is the truth for them. And it's wonderful. And this dude was trying his hardest to be as serious as he can and give so much like detail and description as to what happened in this bar that we were at. What the problem with was it's still a bar. Like, people still drink there. And it was Saturday night. And they had, and some drunk dude went up to the jukebox and he turned it all the way up. And he started playing the Shaft theme song. And if you don't know how the Shaft theme song goes, it goes, Shaft! and then it goes, damn right. It's the fun. It sounds like a porno song essentially. So this porno song is playing, and this poor tour guide's trying his hardest to like ignore it. But I'm an asshole, so I am like laughing hysterically. Like I am like on the ground crying. And then everyone else is laughing because I'm laughing. So this guy is telling the story, and he's like getting genuinely upset, and you can see it in his poor little old man eyeballs because of I ruined his tour. And,
Good job.
Yeah, it was funny. Ghosts can be funny.
Tour?
Huh?
Tour?
Yes.
You went on a ghost tour?
Yes, I was on the ghost tour with the dude. I went on the ghost tour in Virginia as well. That one was more serious. Not as funny as the other one. I don't know.
I always go to ghost tours for the comedy.
Yeah. Whenever I'm looking for a
tours
grand old time, I go on ghost tours. Nothing like the souls of dead people to get me going.
His son.
I wasn't even listening to you guys. Any hoozle. Ghosts are funny.
They are.
They are. I think something's admirable about dead people.
How so, Nick?
So, like, okay, so if you're dead, you lived your life, right?
Yeah.
Right? Well, now, hear me out.
Yes.
Now, wait, hear me out.
I agree. You have lived all the life you have left.
There's none left. It's over for you. There's something admirable about that. Like, it's like, damn, they dead. I don't know. It's like, me, I'm still here living, but like, why are you here? You're dead. Go away.
What do you personally hope being dead's like?
Awesome.
That was great discussion.
when I die, here's what I want to happen. When I die, I would love to be greeted by my dog, Petey. Like, that's just like my main thing.
Aww.
You know? But when I die...
Petey was awesome.
Petey was awesome. He was such a good dog. In the end of his life, he ate cat turds out the litter box and tried to lick you. So
that's
that
every dog.
Yeah. I hope that doesn't happen in heaven. That would be shitty.
He goes to the toilet after Jesus uses it.
Get away from me. I don't want these Jesus turds on me. Sorry, Jesus. No problem, Nick. Or something like that.
So I think I brought this up before to you, but are you afraid? Because when you die, there's a very good chance that Jesus was hanging out with your dog longer than you've been, right?
Yeah, that is right, yeah.
So do you think there's a chance you finally get to heaven, you'll expect Peter to run up to you all happy, and he'll just be like, fuck you, I got this Jesus guy now?
Okay, so the way you would think about it, technically speaking, would be, Jesus has to be cooler than me,
Exactly.
right? Because it's Jesus. Like, and animals, the way they like people is like they can sense if it's a good or a bad person. Like, animals have senses like that. Like, they can tell like this person's up to no good, and Jesus.
Well,
is a good...
Jesus is a troublemaker.
Well, I mean, yeah, claiming he's the Messiah. How dare he? No, but so you would think like
First miracle turning water to wine seems like a hooligan to me.
that is a hooligan. Jesus out there doing hood rat stuff with his friends. I don't even know. But then like my dog would technically, let's say he died when I was like 18ish. So let's say if I die at 60, hopefully, that I go to heaven, hopefully, and Petey spent so much time with Jeebus. But not enough time with me.
Exactly.
And then, and didn't I bring up, or someone, or something, like, if you died, or if your wife died, and then you got remarried to another woman, and then she died, and then you go to heaven, and then it's like, hey guys, what's good? Because, like, you're supposed to spend, the way that the Christians believe, you're supposed to spend the rest of your life with the one that you married in the afterlife.
Look at the Bible. There's polygamy.
Yeah, but I don't know about all that. I don't know how I feel about all of that. You know?
Well, you can give one to Jesus.
I mean, but what if I want both?
Then you have polygamy.
But what if I want...
Well, then there's the awkward moment where you have to choose which one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You have to
And you
live
don't
with
get
choice.
time to think. Jesus says, choose now! It's like choosing a starter Pokemon. It's literally like choosing a Pokemon.
Jesus.
Huh?
You offer the choice to Jesus first.
Or maybe you choose Jesus.
You
walk up.
Yes, I'm choosing Jesus.
So it's like a Pokemon. You have three choices. You have your three wives. They all died. You can choose Marilyn, Catherine, or someone named Maria or something like that. And then and then Jesus is standing there in the middle of all of them, and he has his like women
and then
there.
You choose Professor Oak, which is Jesus.
Well, you move all the women aside, and then you grab Jesus' hand and you say, "You're the one for me, Jesus." And then the song "Lady Nights" plays, and it goes, "This is Ladies' Night, and the feeling's right." And then you and Jesus go make Jesus babies.
Wow.
What is Jesus' son? What would was his son be holy too?
That's a good question.
That's a great question. Or is it like multiply, like Gohan from Goku, or does it lessen? I'd think it'd get stronger. It's like Jesus
Every time
squared.
Jesus gives birth is a stronger and stronger Jesus.
Exactly, Jesus squared. Yeah. I don't know. There's just something about that's admirable.
Maybe Jesus reproduces asexually, like by budding, like a little Jesus starts growing on him, and eventually when it gets big enough, it just pops off.
Yeah, that could be possible too. That would be like what's his name from once again Dragon Ball Z, Piccolo, and he cut off his arm. Jesus and Dragon Ball Z is essentially the same thing.
I guess so. You're right.
Once you cut off Piccolo's arm, he goes, and then a new one comes
So
out.
when Jesus was baptized and the Holy Spirit descended on him, was that like him going Super Saiyan?
That's exactly what that was. Yes. I even heard rumors that his hair turned yellow. It all went up. And then he was able to walk on water.
Oh.
That man wasn't walking on water. He was levitating. He tried to fool us all. I know what you're doing, Jesus. I know what you're doing.
I got you.
I got you.
They don't get you, but I got you. No one else understands you, Jesus. I do.
No one understands Jesus like me. I was there. I don't know. Oh, that reminds me. I got one last thing I want to talk about before we wrap this bad boy up.
Shoot.
So I ordered Jimmy John's today, and I think everyone out here.
Did you get a potato in your sandwich?
No, not again. That pissed me off. So I think everyone can agree that they all know what Jimmy John's motto is, like their slogan, right?
Be fast, liberty.
Freaky fast, but you tried. Thanks for proving me wrong on the dot. Okay. Jesus fucking Christ. So essentially, anyways, I ordered Jimmy John's today. And I was like, awesome. I'm so excited. And I'm like, okay, Jimmy John's is literally 1 mile away from me. Like, you've been there with me. Mm-hmm. It's next to the Chipotle. It's right there.
Right
and
there.
I could have drove there and picked it up. Yeah. Technically, yes. Technically, yes. And I ordered it, and I gave the person like an $8 tip, which I thought was fair considering it's not a far drive.
Yeah.
And so it took them like 50 minutes to bring my sandwich, and then I was like,
"You actually did walk."
I was like, "No, they drove. I was standing outside waiting because I'm impatient. I was waiting for my sandwich." I totally
see you just being so anxious, waiting for your sandwich. You just sit outside, sit on the curb, put your hands in your hands, and just wait.
That's where I was. Yeah, that's what I was doing. I was sitting there waiting, and then I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna read this dude the riot act. I'm gonna be like, I want my $8 tip back." I would never do that. I would let him keep it because I'm awkward. And I probably would have never said anything to him either. But I was all angry and shit. And then he pulls up. He gets out of his car after so long. And then it was just like this little girl. And I was like, I can't yell at her. So I did.
What do you mean? Like an 11-year-old was giving you your sandwich?
Well, she was like 4, I think. She was driving, though. No, she was probably like 16, but I was like, I can't yell at this girl.
You see the booster seat in the driver's seat?
Yeah. Do you hear this fart? No, I don't think so. Okay.
Did you hear that fart? Is that what you said?
Yeah, I ripped ass. Anyways, that's all the time we have in this podcast.
The Bromocast.
The Bromocast, part 4. It's
You can
it's
tell
going
it's
strong.
a real homocast because you couldn't hear Nick's farts.
Because if my butthole was tight, you would have heard it. It would have been like this. But instead it was like. So thank you all so much for watching. Tune in next Tuesday for another Bromocast, episode 5. Yeah, and if you have any butthole experiences like that, let us know in the comments below.
Especially if they involve ghosts.
Do you have any final things to add, Paul? There you go. All right. And thank you all so much for watching. Goodbye.
God damn it, Nick.